Hello everyone, my name is Stanley St. Bros, and today we're going to be talking about Spittoon, written by Langston Hughes. Now, before I go into summary analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. Before we talk about this poem in depth, I'm going to read the poem, so let's begin with that. Spittoon by Langston Hughes. Clean the spittoons, boy. Detroit, Chicago, Atlantic City, Palm Beach. Clean the spittoons, the steam in hotel kitchens, and the smoke in hotel lobbies, and the slime in hotel spittoons. Part of my life. Hey, boy, a nickel, a dime, a dollar, $2 a day. Hey, boy, a nickel, a dime, a dollar, $2. Buy shoes for the baby, house rent to pay, gin on Saturday, church on Sunday. My God, babies and gin in church, and women and Sunday, all mixed with dimes and dollars in clean spittoons, and house rent to pay. Hey, boy, a bright bowl of brass is beautiful to the Lord. Bright polished brass like the cymbals of King David's dancers, like the wine cups of Solomon. Hey, boy, a clean spittoon on the altar of the Lord. A clean, bright spittoon all newly polished. At least I can offer that. Come here, boy. So that's Brass Spittoons by Langston Hughes. What this poem is basically about, what's going on in this poem, it's talking about a black man, an African-American man, who is working, and his job is to clean spittoons. Now, this, as you could imagine, is not work that you would enjoy, because you're cleaning spittoons, you're cleaning spit. This is a time where hotels in America would have spittoons everywhere for people to spit in, and this African American man. He's working hard, and he's only earning $2 a day, and that's not really, he has to pay his rent, as the poem says. He has to pay his rent. He has to buy baby shoes. He has to take care of his family with this income, this measly income that he's earning. We hear that he has to pay his rent, he has to pay for baby shoes. You could also imagine he's going to have to pay for food, and everything that it comes with having a family. So he's working hard during the week. He's drinking on Saturday. It doesn't say that, but from my own perspective, he's probably drinking with his buddies on Saturday. So that Saturday is his days to be to himself, to spend time with his buddies drinking. And Sunday, he's probably with the family at church, and that's his life. That's how he lives his life. That's how he makes his income. That's the definition of his life, and it's not a happy life, because first of all, we know that he's not earning a lot. We see how his income is depicted, a few times within the poem. And the thing is, like, at the beginning of the poem, it shows you places where he can work. So he can't do this everywhere. It specifically lists where he's going to work, where to work, and that's probably places where most black people are in America. It's probably places where you see a lot of black people in America. So it's probably easier for him to work in those places, because at the time this was being written, black people had a lot of challenges in America. So those cities that he mentions are probably the most welcoming places, or places where he could work without being targeted. And so there's a lot in this poem, but at the end of it, we know he's not happy. We know his work place of work is not that vast. Also, we know that it goes towards God, right? So we know that this all of these boys, if it's one boy, one African American, or multiple ones, because the poem mentions boy a lot. And the narrator, so there's a narrator speaking to the boys, or the boy, and he's telling them what to do, or it's Langston Hughes in his, narrating in an omniscient position, kind of like telling them what to do and all that. They have to take care of this money, and that, the reason why they're working is because of family, it's because of rent, it's because of providing, and towards the end, although this is not the most happiest work that one could do, it's kind of like also working towards God, because a bright, polished spittoon on the Lord's altar, or this is a way that if he does this directed towards God, or while he's at church, or if he focuses gaze towards God, it's kind of like that's all I can provide towards the kingdom of heaven. So he's living a hard life, or the character, the boy within this poem, he's living a hard life. He's cleaning slime. The poem specifically mentions the slime of hotel spittoons, the steam of hotel kitchens. He's working in hard conditions. It's probably, because it mentions steam, so it's probably hot conditions, unwelcoming conditions. He's scrubbing these spittoons. And spittoons, spit is not, when spit sits around within a spittoon, I've never seen a spittoon, I've never spit in a spittoon, but you could imagine that spittoons are these bucket-like things that, they're made of metal, and the slime from people's spit just like gathers up and just, oh, that's disgusting. It's all together in the spittoons, and he has to get in there with his hands and scrub and get rid of all that grime and spit and slime. And then the money that he earns from that, the horrible urges that he earns from that, he has to use it on his family. And the only escape that he gets is kind of thinking towards God, thinking that a bright spittoon near the Lord's altar, or maybe focusing on God, is a way to escape. Maybe this is the only thing I could probably offer to my church, that I could offer to God, that I could offer to the kingdom, and that could save me. So the narrator is speaking from a place of, this is your obligation, this is what you have to do, this is what you have to face. But at the same time, the boy, the narrator is telling the boy, clean the spittoon, clean the spittoons, clean it here, clean it there. This is what you have to do with it. You could see that the boy is powerless, and he's in a difficult position, and he doesn't really have a way to get out of it. It's just he only gets these Saturdays to drink and be himself and get a little bit of freedom and maybe church. So Saturdays and Sundays are kind of like the escape. But at the same time, he's pretty much doing the same thing at church, because that's the only thing he could have offered to the Lord, right? So it's a tough life, but there's a little bit of escape in there with the drinking on Saturdays and worshiping the Lord, and probably clean spittoons at church is going towards God, and that's kind of like a better way of looking at his life, rather than just focusing on the slime and spit that he has to clean on a weekly basis in hotels. So that's the poem. That's what it's talking about. It's hard life, doing it for the family. You need to buy these baby shoes. You need to pay your rent. And that's life. I mean, for most African Americans, before civil rights, before African Americans could get jobs in different places, you had to do these types of backbreaking jobs, scrubbing, cleaning, heavy labor jobs that were kind of disgusting, like this, where you had to get on your knees and use your hands and scrub spit from a spittoon. So that's the poem. That's my perspective on it. That's basically what it's talking about. When you go stanza by stanza, you could probably see more. If you go in towards the religious symbols that appear with it, you can probably find some more layers to it. But that's just an idea to get you into this poem and to explore it more in the direction it's going in. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't go clean spittoons.